Hey guys, Nick from Stoltec Moto here. Today I'm going to show you how the Penske shock is laid out. We get a lot of questions asking what the adjustments are, how the shock looks and is laid out, and honestly it's easier to show this stuff in a video than it is in photos. So hopefully this makes sense. Obviously if it doesn't, feel free to give us a ring or email us. This particular shock is for the Yamaha FZ10, so it has an integrated piggyback, the reservoir here. Most applications that we sell have a remote reservoir, which is very similar, have a canister, but instead of being co-located on the unit, there's an actual hose and you mount it somewhere separately on the bike. Functionality, very, very similar, but the layout's slightly different. So we'll go over some of the adjustments here and some of the features. Down here just north of the lower mount, you have the ride height adjuster. If you break this silver nut free, that's your jam nut, and then adjust this black nut, you can increase or decrease the length of the shock. Most of our shocks ship with the factory height at the shortest condition, and you can always increase from there. We can do custom deals, but for the most part, that's how they're all set up. Just above that, we have this red adjustment. That's your rebound adjuster. It's easily done with your fingers. You don't need any special tools, which is a nice perk. Just above this lower mount here, this is what we call the Torrington thrust bearing. This is normally on the top of the spring, but since there's no spring installed, you can see it here. So this actually rotates. Gotta pardon my fingers here. This will rotate as you're adjusting spring preload, which makes it a lot easier, but its real function is to allow the spring to rotate as it compresses, because normally a spring is going to bind whenever it starts to compress. So this takes some of that extra load out of the spring and makes the operation a little bit smoother. And again, that's usually up on top of the spring here. Another little perk that I like to show down here, if you guys do decide to change springs, it's very easy to do so. If you remove all the preload off the spring, slide that up, you'll see that there's a circlip in here. Remove the circlip, this lower mount comes right off and the spring comes with it. Very easy, no special tools, no spring compressors, all the basic stuff you have in your workshop. This up here, this collar, is used to adjust the spring preload. As you can see, there's Acme threads all the way down. There's a lot of adjustment here. Way more adjustment than you'll actually get out of the spring itself. But the point here is that it's easy to use. We supply a tool from Penske that fits in all these holes. A lot of adjustability, many different angles. You don't have to worry about trying to get a bite on that preload collar with special tools or punches or spanner wrenches. So that works pretty easily as well. Up top here, this is the upper mount. This shock is a little different because of the R1 application and the FZ10. But there's a bearing in here as well, so there's a needle bearing on the FZ10 on the R1 shocks. Over here on the canister, this here is an 8983 single adjust, adjustable for low speed compression. This knob here, again, finger adjust, no special tools required. Same layout as the 8987 triple clicker, but that particular shock has an extra adjustment right in here. Layout wise, identical. Over here you'll see the Schrader valve. Normal operation. This isn't something that you're going to need to be aware of, but if you do need to service it, this is where the nitrogen is recharged. That's just about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Very happy to help. If you have any more requests for photos, videos, or pictures, feel free to drop us a message and we'll get you guys taken care of. Thanks guys. Ride safe.